Hello, my sweet friends. I miss you guys so much, and I pray that you are doing really well. I think about you all the time. You are so important to me. At the very beginning of the summer, I asked you to send me questions, things that you were wondering about, and I hope I did a good job of answering those for you. But now it's my turn. In the next couple weeks in the mail, I'm going to send you a question of something that I am wondering about, and I can't wait to hear your answer. Mostly, I can't wait to hear from you because I am just crazy about you, and I miss you so much. It has taken a whole summer, my friends, the whole summer, but we have finally made it through our list of the fruits of the Spirit. We are on our last fruit today. So let's think about all we've learned. Let's go through our fruit of the Spirit from Galatians 5 and find out where we're going to land today. The fruit of the Spirit, say it with me, is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There we are. Bingo! We landed on self-control. That is what we are talking about today. That is what we are going to cover. Now, before we zero in, I want us to stop and talk about something. The list we have is called the fruit of the Spirit, not the fruits of the Spirit. Did you hear the difference? The fruit of the Spirit, singular, not the fruits of the Spirit. What I think that means, why I feel that is important, is that when God is in us, the fruit we produce will be all of these things, all of these different fruits. It's not like, I've got the fruit of joy, but not patience. That's not my thing. Or I've got the fruit of kindness, but not gentleness. I don't really do that. That doesn't really fit me, right? No. This is the fruit of God in our lives. All of these things. And I really love that this list ends in self-control because it is the basket or the fruit bowl that all of these things sit in. I think that every single one of these fruit of the Spirit requires self-control to accomplish it. So let's think about it. We have to have self-control to be loving. I'm going to need self-control because there are times that I want to act unloving. To have patience, right? We're going to need self-control to be patient. There are a lot of times that I want to lose my cool, right? And so I'm going to need self-control to be patient. To have peace, I need patience. Do you see how this is? To have peace, I need self-control. Do you see how this is working? They all work together using self-control. There are going to be times when on the inside I don't feel peaceful and I have to have self-control to be able to get that peace back. Same goes with kindness. There's going to be times that I don't want to act kind and I use self-control to do it. There's times I don't want to have gentleness that I have to, right? Using self-control, I come up with gentleness, joy. Self-control is required for joy, for faithfulness, for goodness. Goodness also requires self-control. So self-control is a fruit bowl that all these things sit in. Sometimes our hearts or our spirit will compete with the Spirit of God within us, right? It's kind of like a tug of war because we're human. So we need to stop. We need to keep working on our fruit so it shows the Spirit of God. And we can't do it alone, right? This isn't the fruit of charis. This is the fruit of the Spirit, the fruit of God in me. We need God's Spirit to move in our life. And this, my friends, takes great self-control. That's why we're going to spend today talking about it. So if we're going to talk about what self-control is all day today, don't you think we better figure out what self-control is anyway? Well, basically, self-control is being in control of yourself. Self-control is being in control of your emotions, your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Now, as Jesus people, self-control is responding to the world around us in God's way. The funny thing is, to have self-control, we have to lose control. But lose as in give up control to the Spirit of God, asking God to produce in me the emotions, thoughts, words, or actions that look like Jesus, not emotions, thoughts, words, or actions that look like Karis. It's not something that I can do myself, and that's where faith kicks in, friends. It takes great strength and it takes great faith. God in me changes me. It changes what I produce. And this is very good news. Who do you think the ultimate example of self-control is? It's Jesus. Jesus himself is our ultimate example of self-control. Jesus' emotions, his thoughts, his words, his actions always point us to God. Everything points to him. There are so many times in the New Testament where we see Jesus showing love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and of course, all of it requires self-control. We've talked a lot about those examples this summer. We've spent a lot of time going through different parts of them, but I want to challenge you to read one of the Gospels. What are the Gospels again? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. There's 4 of them. I want you to pick one, read one of the Gospels, and every time you encounter Jesus, notice what fruit he is showing. I really love it when the Gospel writers say Jesus had great compassion on them. I just think it's precious. But anyway, all of the fruit that Jesus shows starts with self-control, letting his emotions, thoughts, words, and actions point us towards God. We can follow his very good example. Let's look at it this way. Our target is to be like Jesus, right? That's what our goal is, our target. So we're going to get our target here to have a heart that looks like Jesus. And I'm going to hang it up over here. We want a heart that looks like Jesus. And that's where we're wanting to go. So I'm going to point this balloon. I'm going to try and hit the Jesus target with this balloon. I'm going to point it towards it. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to see what happens. I've got it pointed straight at it. Woo! This balloon had no control of itself. It had no self-control, no ability to control the direction that it was going in. It couldn't hit the target, obviously. It needs something to guide it. So we're going to help our balloon hit the target in this way. It needs something to guide it. Let's try this. Same balloon, same target, but we're giving it a guide. Okay? I'm headed straight towards a heart that looks like Jesus. It totally hit the target that time. Right on cue, right? Having self-control means being able to guide our words, guide our thoughts, our emotions, our actions. So we're not just flying around out of control like a balloon, right? The target of our lives is to have a heart that looks like Jesus. We want to be like Jesus. We want to follow him and follow his very good example. The Holy Spirit is what guides us and points us to Jesus. It gives us a straight shot there. Self-control is so important, my friends. When we have it, we are able to show all of our other fruit. It's all the stuff that we talked about this summer. If we don't have self-control, our other fruits are going to be lacking too. This means it's very hard work, but you have the power. Okay, check this out, friends. I have a couple new friends for you to meet. First, this is Self-Control Steve. Steve has self-control. And this is Reckless Ralph. Reckless Ralph does not. Let's see how these two compete with each other when things get tough. As soon as Brock finished his chores, he came in the house and he could smell that his mom had been baking. Yum! Fresh chocolate chip cookies still warm on the pan. He immediately asked his mom for a cookie. But she said, "No, son, you'll have to wait until after dinner." This was a very disappointing answer to Brock. He wanted one now. Besides, he had just worked so hard taking out the trash, and it's not fair he should have to wait. What should Brock choose? Should he sneak a cookie and enjoy it now? Or should he have self-control and wait until after dinner like his mom said? Self-control Steve says, "You will get to eat a cookie, just not right now. You can wait. You will enjoy it just as much later." Reckless Ralph says, "It's not fair to ask you to wait. You've been doing what your parent asked you to do all day today. Just take one now. No one will even know." What will Brock choose? Self-control Steve wins! By choosing self-control, he is also showing the fruit of love to his mom. Hudson is building a new world in Minecraft when his brother comes in and trips over the cord, which turns off his game console without saving his progress. Hudson is really upset about this. What should Hudson do? Should he scream at his brother and knock him over? Or should he use self-control, asking his brother to be more careful? Self-control Steve says, "It was an accident. It could happen to anyone. Your relationship with your brother is much more important than a game." But Reckless Ralph says, "He always does this. He's never careful. I bet he even did it on purpose and is laughing at you now. Let him have it." I wonder who will win. Self-control Steve wins! By choosing self-control, he is also showing the fruit of patience and kindness to his brother. Aiden has really been looking forward to going to the pool today. He's all dressed and ready to go, but right about the time his family had planned to leave, rain clouds rolled in and lightning flashes. Dad tells him he won't be able to go swimming today after all. Aiden is so disappointed. What should Aiden do? Cry, scream, and throw a fit? Or use the power of self-control to say he's disappointed, but he understands? Self-control Steve says, "You know your mom and dad can't control the weather. It's hard, but there's nothing you can do about it. Let's find something else fun to do." Reckless Ralph says, "I've been waiting for days to go to the pool. This is so not fair. Make sure your parents know that you're real mad about this. I'll help you throw the biggest tantrum ever." I wonder who will win. Self-control wins! By choosing self-control, Aiden is also showing the fruit of joy. You too, my friends, have the power to choose between self-control and being reckless. When things aren't going exactly the way we would like for them to in our world, we often start to react out of selfishness or out of our own spirit instead of the Spirit of God. But the fruit of God, the fruit of the Spirit of God that is in you is strong and mighty. You can use self-control and stay in control of your words, your actions, your thoughts, and your emotions. My friends, having self-control is hard. It is not easy to do. So we need to pray about it. We need to ask for God's help. But there are some things that I have learned from this really helpful book here called The Kid's Guide to Staying Awesome and in Control by Lauren Bruckner. Now, when your words or your actions or your thoughts or your emotions are starting to feel like they are out of your control, try a body break. A body break is when you give your body time to think about how you are feeling and to get back in control. So I'm going to teach you 3 today that will maybe help you when you're feeling like your self-control is about to leave you. Okay? The first one is called a bubble breath. You're going to breathe in for 5 seconds and then imagine that you have a wand of bubbles. When you breathe out, be careful not to pop the bubble. Okay? You can try putting one hand on your belly and one hand right here on your chest. Okay? You're going to breathe in through your nose and hold it for 5 seconds before breathing out into your bubble wand. But remember, don't pop it. Just like that. It gives your body a break. Time to get in, to stop and think about how you're feeling, and to get back into your self-control. Now, let's try another body break together, okay? You're going to put one palm up, one palm, you're going to go like this, okay? Touch your fingertips together and pull them apart as hard as you can for as long as your body needs to get back into control. Just like this. Pull. You feel that tension? When you're starting to feel out of control, this can help you regain your control. Excellent. Okay, one more. When you're working to give yourself a body break to be able to get back into control of your words, your actions, your thoughts, your emotions, let's try one called pretzel arms. So you're going to take your arms and twist them like this, and then go ahead and cross one leg over the other and stay twisted just like this until you feel in control of your emotions again. Next time you need a second to figure out how you're feeling and how you're going to respond and how you're going to use self-control, try one of these techniques. I bet it will help. Now for one last time, my friends, let's do our Fruit of the Spirit song. Are you ready to sing along with me? Let's start with a papaya. The fruit of the Spirit's not a papaya. How about a pineapple? The fruit of the Spirit's not a pineapple. The fruit of the Spirit's not a pineapple. If you've got a pineapple, you might as well eat it, 'cause it's not a fruit of the Spirit. The Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. One more, my very favorite, a red juicy watermelon. The fruit of the Spirit's not a watermelon. The fruit of the Spirit's not a watermelon. If you've got a watermelon, you might as well eat it, 'cause it's not a fruit Excellent work, my friends. I have a parable for us, a book for us today that is something I bet we can all relate to. It's called Sometimes I'm Bumbaloo by Rachel Bale. Let's read it together. My name is Katie Honors, and I'm a really good kid. I smile a lot because usually I'm happy, and I give excellent hugs. I brush my teeth without being reminded too much. I can Velcro my own shoes and put my toys where they belong, including the ones with 48 small pieces. I remember about using my napkin and the magic word. I don't whine or stamp my feet or growl, even if my brother knocks down my beautiful castle I just built and I told him not to touch it and I'll never be able to get it to look like that again. Sometimes I can hold in the tears and the pushes and just say, that's okay. But sometimes I'm Bumbaloo. I show my teeth and make fierce noises. My face scrunches tight like a monster's. I use my feet and my fists instead of my words. My toys end up all over the floor, and so does my brother. There is a lot of yelling when I'm Bumbaloo, and some pointing at my bed. I have to go take some time for myself and think about it. But when I'm Bumbaloo, I don't want to think about it. I want to smash stuff. I can come out when I'm ready to control myself and say I'm sorry to my brother. But while I'm Bumbaloo, I'm not sorry, I'm angry. I hate everybody and everything, even my dog, Vanilla, and my penny collection, and my blankie, and my mother, and all of the clothes in my drawers. On their way out of the drawer, a pair of underpants lands on my head. Like a hat. When I laugh, I'm Katie Honors again. And I'm very sorry and a little frightened. It's scary being Bumbaloo. My mother knows that. She hugs me and helps me clean up the mess Bumbaloo made, and then after some stories and kisses from my brother, we build a new castle together. Can you relate to Bumbaloo? I know I can. Self-control is hard, but you can do it. Friends, as we wrap up today, I want you to remember to add self-control to your puzzle, and it should totally be complete now. Doing a puzzle is also a great way to take a body break, by the way. We are not going to have KidConnect4 next week. We're going to take a 1-week break, and then we'll begin again on August the 30th with something different since we finished up our fruits. As we get ready to go today, I want to read this scripture to you. It is from 2 Peter 1, starting in verse 5. I'll give you a second to get there. Are you with me, friends? In 2 Peter chapter 1, starting in verse 5. This sums up our whole summer spent in the fruit of the Spirit. Let's read together. So you should try very hard to add goodness to your faith. To goodness, add knowledge. To knowledge, add the ability to control yourselves. To the ability to control yourselves, add the strength to keep going. To the strength to keep going, add godliness. To godliness, add kindness for one another. And to kindness for one another, add love. All these things should describe you more and more. Let all of these fruits of the Spirit, the very good fruit that God has put in you, describe you more and more. I am so proud of you, and I love you, friends, and I will see you 2 weeks from today.